back. You are listening to the Flow Friday Sports Show on Flow FM. Time to go to our correspondent in the Picola and Districts football, and that is Tim McCormack, and he's on the line. Tim, lovely to have you. Spare us some of your time in your busy week. How are you?
Yeah, no, pretty good, mate. Looking forward to the weekend, and we're actually looking like we might get a little bit of footy weather, actually.
Yes, well, fingers crossed. Let's go to last weekend, though. Blighty, they got done by Tocumwal, 116-45. This one finished in favour of the away side at the Blighty Recreation Reserve. How'd you see the game?
Yeah, I thought the Bloods were always going to be a little bit too strong for Blighty. They're not a bad. They'll be probably bottom part of the ladder, Toke, I think, but would have too many big guns for Blighty at the moment.
Okay, not a whole lot to say as far as the Katandra and Rennie game went because it finished 138-6. So, yeah, the Rennie boys, they got quite the run out in the end, didn't register too much scoreboard pressure, a day they'd like to forget.
Yeah, I'm sure they would. They wouldn't have had, looking at the scores, they didn't have Chase Strawhorn playing, who's probably kicked over 1,000 goals in his country footy career. So when they lose a weapon like that, they're going to find it pretty hard to score. Katandra are going to be a very good side, and they'll be very close at the end of the season to taking it out, I think.
All right, Tim, Katunga and Jarudari, this one gave us a real close game and real edge of your seat sort of finish in the end. Katunga up against Jarudari, 68-64, just a 4-point game in it. How did you see this one?
Yeah, obviously it was the closest margin of the weekend, and it probably surprised me a little bit, Jarudari. I thought they were a little bit of rebuilding phase, but Katunga, we played them a couple of weeks ago, and they were very, very good. So Jarudari are going to be around abouts, I think, but obviously a good win by the Swans.
Now, your side, Mathura, got up against Yarrawaya, 213-21. Big day out for your mob here, Tim.
Yeah, we had our big full forward, Aaron Burns, kicked 15, so that's always going to put you in pretty good stead. So I feel a bit for Yarrawaya. We're in a very similar boat to them 2 years ago, struggling for numbers and struggling for big guns to play the game out. But to their credit, they're still battling and still fielding both sides in the seniors and reserves. So as long as they stick at it, hopefully they'll get there. But our boys probably played their first four-quarter effort for the year.
All right, good to hear the progress report there from your end. Denny Rovers, they got the job done on them by Tungama, 113-69. Did you see this one coming?
Look, I thought Tungama would have got the job done, but it was probably a bit bigger margin than I thought it was going to be. Denny probably, I think they missed a couple of players, which sort of hurt their depth a little bit. They're a very young side and very fit side, but the probably older and stronger bodies of Tungama just would have proved too strong.
All right, what about Catamatite being way too strong for Picola United? 68-32, good win on the road for Catamatite.
Yeah, Catamatite, they've had a couple of very handy wins of late, probably beaten sides that are going to finish in the top 4 or 5, I would have thought. So they're actually putting together a pretty handy start to the season. Picola have been a little bit up and down, and they're probably one they'd want to bounce back from, I believe.
And finally, Strathmerton. They registered a score of 145 against Berrigan 32. Strathmerton, big win for them.
Yeah, like I've said over the last couple of weeks, runners up last year, and they're going to be right up there at the pointy end of the season. I think Strathmerton, they've got a quality side, very even all over the ground, and I thought they were always going to be too strong for Berrigan.
All right, let's take a look at the ladder. In first, we have Katandra. Second, Strathmerton. Third, Catamatite. Fourth, Denny Rovers. In fifth spot is Waya, and then we've got Tungama in sixth, Katunga in seventh, and then Mathura in eighth. In ninth, Picola United. In 10th, Jarudari. 11th, Berrigan. 12th, Tocumwal. 13th, Blighty. 14th, Rennie. And 15th, Yarrawaya. So that is how the ladder currently looks. Anything standing out for you there, Tim?
Probably the Waiai where they are, and that losing a game probably didn't help them a couple of weeks ago against Catamatite. But I think they'll probably, as the season goes on, they'll get closer to the top 2 or 3. The rest of it, pretty even, I thought. It's about where we thought a lot of clubs would be at this stage of the season.
All right, let's look at round 7 getting underway tomorrow. We've got your side up against Denny Rovers at the Mathura Recreation Reserve. How are you feeling? This won't be an easy game.
No, it won't be. They'll be looking to bounce back after their loss to Tungamar last week. And on the flip side, I think we'll go in with a fair bit of confidence with the way we played last week. We'll get a couple of blokes back, hopefully, but missed through injury and unavailability last week. So hopefully that should strengthen us a little bit. But they're a very, very quick and young side, Denny Rovers. So we want to be at our best to get the points at the end of the day.
Might see a bit of a mouth-watering game between Picola United and Kattunga. The home side will be wanting to bounce back there.
Yeah, look, this is probably close to being the game of the round. I think they're going to be two sides that are going to be looking at finishing around about the fourth or fifth spot. So every win they can get over the sides that are going to finish around about the same place on the ladder will do them all good come towards the end of the season. So I really think Kattunga will be too strong.
Rennie and Berrigan going at it. A bit of a confidence booster for both sides on offer here.
Yeah, look, I think Berrigan should get the job done. Rennie have struggled to kick a score over the last 2 or 3 weeks. I think Berrigan will have too much firepower over the Rennie Hoppers.
All right, which way are you going? Strathmerton v Blighty?
Strathmerton comfortably. I think they'll be way too strong. Too much firepower all over the ground for the struggling Blighty.
Jerilderie up against Tokenwall. Is the away side the heavy favourite here?
Yeah, I think Jerilderie should get the job done. They've shown in the last couple of weeks that they've mixed it with some of the better sides in the competition. So I think they'll be too strong for Toke.
Tungamar up against Catamatite, another one that will certainly have a few neutrals excited.
Yeah, this will be a very good game. If I wasn't coaching my side this weekend, this would be one I'd be going to have a look at, I think. Two sides that are pretty fancy themselves, and I reckon that will be a fantastic contest. I think Tungamar with no real confidence.
Okay, and finally, Waya up against Yarrawaya. How do you see this one going?
Oh, look, it's going to be another dirty day for poor old Yarrawaya. I think Waiai will kick a massive score this weekend. The poor old Hoppers, they've struggled to hit the scoreboard and coming up against one of the best sides in the competition, this could get ugly.
All right, then. We'll see what happens. Tim McCormack, our correspondent out of the Picola Football League. Great to get you on again, Tim, and good luck on the weekend. Thanks for your time.
No worries, mate. Thanks. See you next week.